Good morning, everyone. If you are watching, welcome. It is wonderful to have you here. Interesting. I'm going to presume that base belongs to Odyssey. Had a very interesting meeting with Odyssey last night. Which could lead places. We shall see. My inventory, as always, is a shit show. And that's okay. Right, let's head towards Kamensk. We do have reason to visit. We do have reason to go visit the refuge. However, I'd be very surprised if any of them are on right now, so I'm kind of thinking I'm not going to do that right now. It was my plan to do that today, but I think this is going to be a rather boring vanilla loot run type day. We shall see. Something I need to check. Is Commence tier 2 or tier 3? Let's have a look. The Commence village itself. I think Kamensk is loot 3, isn't it? Kamensk is tier 3. That's fine. It's relevant for us looking for Fort Isles, which is why I was double checking. Right, let's head up into Kamensk. Not much plans for today as such. Last night was very interesting. We went to try and visit the Fireflies and the Overlook. Unfortunately, they were not in. We left notes for them. But we did come across Shifty and Odyssey in Brixton, which is the town we've just left. We're now heading towards Kamensk. Kind of need to do this. Actually, no, what I need to do is this. Let's do this just now. No, wrong thing. Empty. So yeah, busy weekend for the web. The event went well, I feel. The event went very well, which I'm delighted to see. I am seeing some yellow chain on this server. I don't know if it's my end or the server end. I don't see any drop frames, so I'll keep an eye on it. Stream seems steady. Keeping an eye out for heli crashes. Heli crashes, I am starting to think the spawn rate on heli crashes might have been reduced. But the helis might be better. I do not know this for a fact. This is entirely hearsay based on the last couple of weeks running around the server, but yeah. Yee-ow! First chatter of the day. How are we, friend? Thank you for being here. I hope you're well. We are in commence. We had an interesting conversation with Odyssey last night. But it was getting late by the time I got to Brixton, so we ended up logging out there for the night. And we are going to be looting our way back towards Krona today. So just top up the well while we're here. So yeah, no big objectives for today or anything like that. Server is quiet. Plan is to have a little look around Commensk and then head towards Starry is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But thank you for being here, Jetty. Company is appreciated. Actually logged off near Commensk earlier. I'm trying to build a house there. Nice. Have you spoken to the people who manage Commensk? I presume if you're trying to build a house there, you have spoken to Redwood, I presume. If not, you probably should. But he's a sweetheart, don't get me wrong. Of course, of course. Oh, we've got dogs. Annoyingly. Come on in. Where are they? Where are the dogs? I can hear them. Where are these fucking dogs? Sounds like they're over here somewhere. Could be fighting. Did dogs fight Zeds? I genuinely don't know. Oh. Oh. Alright, big man. Calm down. So, come on in. Let's go back on top of that little shed we were on. It's probably the safest thing to be on. Good. You have a plan. That's good. Having a plan is good. They are friendly people there. I'm sure you'll do fine. Oh, where is it? Where did the other one go? There he is. Go. Really don't like using 5 rounds of ammo to take down 2 dogs, but needs must. Right, that's that situation dealt with. Mitch is joining the group possibility, I'm not sure yet. Good. I would not recommend one way or the other. What I would say is Wolf's experiences with the free town of Kamensk have been overwhelmingly positive. They seem like good guys to Wolf. Zed's here, man. What Zed's, man? Redwood, the mayor of Kamensk, is he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I'll take some winning rounds. That's when you're out and looting. I always find like picking up random little stacks of ammo like that is generally a good sign that the place hasn't been looted yet. Another good sign is just finding like any food or soda. People tend not to leave wee stacks of ammo in my experience, because it's so easy to pick up, right? So people tend to pick it up, in my experience. So if you're looking for those little telltale clues of, is the loot just bad here, or has somebody been through already, that's generally an indicator. Is that deer hoof knife? I mean, sure. It's not really what I was looking for, but check that the 3 cars we just checked. Yeah. Kamensk is also in a interesting spot on the map, right? You're quite close to the. I found that ammo is very scarce on Dug. I mean, yes and no. It is significantly scarcer than vanilla. That is definitely the case. But with time and experience, you'll get to learn. Oh, there's a nice wee longhorn. You'll get to learn what is more scarce and less scarce. But yeah, it's not. Dug is a lot slower than vanilla, and that's intentional. You will not find yourself AK-74 VS-89 plate carrier within 2 hours of being on Dug. That is unlikely to happen. I mean, it's not impossible. You could loot another player, you know, kill another player and loot them or whatever, but chances are that's not going to happen. I'll tell you what is scarce on Dug is nails. Nails and forward aisles are the gold standard of currency on Dug. Not ammunition. Nails. Nails are valuable, let me tell you. Especially this stage of the wipe where everybody is building. And that is certainly something you're going to want to consider when you're thinking about if you want to build, where you want to build, what you want to do. You're not going to be able to build the kind of base you'd be able to build. Pliers and wires aren't too bad. You'll find pliers, no problem. You'll find wires. You'll find wire, no problem. Don't worry too much about that. Things to build with. The tools aren't your issue. Wire's not your issue. Nails and forward aisles are your issue. Definitely. They are everybody's issue. Everybody is always hunting for forward aisles. I'm getting serious lag here. Earth. Let me see. There he is. But it's that scarcity that drives players to interact with each other, right? That's kind of the point. The scarcity forces players to, you know, trade with one another, raid one another, attack one another. That forced economy is what keeps players rubbing shoulders, as it were. Being solo on Dug is tough, yes. Being part of a cooperative, such as the Free Town of Kamensk, is a nice halfway house. Where you're still solo, but you have some opportunity for teamwork, right? But yes, being a solo is hard, undoubtedly. But it's also a choice. It's also a choice, right? I mean, if you're choosing to be solo, I would never play Doug solo. There's lots of people that do get a lot from the server. For me, Doug is about interaction with other people, and I crave that interaction, that continual interaction with other people. Not just my own teammates, obviously, with other people too, but the idea of, you know, potentially running around constantly for hours and not finding anybody to talk with and interact with is not what I want from the server. And it is what some people want from the server, and that's brilliant. It's not for me. Not for me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning. I need to drink. I've got coffee near to me. I need to have a slug of coffee, I think. Oh, my shirt got a bit banged up. Let's fix that up right now. Oh, excuse me. Somebody's at my door. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I had somebody at the door. Somebody had dropped something outside my gate, like a pillow or something. It looked like a camping pillow or something like that. It was like a gentleman kindly came to my door and said, "Is this yours?" I'm like, "It's not mine." But yeah, the other thing I think is really important with Doug is that KOS exists. Like, I think the server would be significantly worse without KOS. I think some people revert to KOS too quickly, but I think if you removed the ability to KOS, it would kill the server. What makes the interactions in Doug worthwhile for me is that they happen on a basis of trust. Because you're not killing each other, right? You could. At any point, this conversation could go sideways and we could start shooting each other, right? I thought about joining other groups, but never knew where to get started in Churners on Livonia. I started my own group called Los Lobos. I played Livonia for a little bit with some guys from Churners, from Doug itself. And I was briefly part of the, that's PID for Wolf. I kind of want to take these. And I think I will. I was part of the Copa group. You'll know who I'm talking about, the Copa prison inmates. If you've played on that server, I'm sure you'll know who they are. I was part of that group for a short while. It appears that Lug has died a death, which is unfortunate, but there we go. So yeah, I'm all Churners all the way. All Churners all day, baby. We're going to make a loop up towards Starry Yar. That is the plan. The last time I ran this particular loot route, we actually bumped into a couple of dudes, and it was a bit of a dicey RP situation where I thought they might kill me and they didn't. If we head in this rough direction, it's going to take us up to the little industrial to the east of Star Yar. Actually, I might just have a little look. I think I'm going too far due west here. I think I need to go further that way. So the dub player count just dropped actually. It was 85 or 90. It's finding, you have to understand that you'll be thinking, oh well, I know plenty of churner servers that run on 100 players, and that's absolutely the case. But on a server where the white blasts 3 to 4 months, sometimes longer, sometimes up to 6 months, but 4 months maybe on average. People are accumulating stuff all the time, and it's a server performance thing, right? Server performance is always a kind of key consideration when people are building bases over time and that. So I think they brought it down again because, and it was particularly exacerbated when we had summer churners there. We're now moved into autumn, and it'll be winter soonish, I would presume. But yeah, but it's that balance point, right? It's that balance point between encouraging interaction for sure, but also the server performance. Simple as that. Simple as that. Nobody wants to play it. Nobody wants to go into like a big populated area, such as Starry, for example, or Nevaya. You know, down to Pridorki or wherever. You know, nobody wants to go to these places and be dealing with, you know, 15 frames a second, right? So it's the balance point. It is something they're constantly tinkering with. Constantly. Like I say, it was put up to 90, I want to say, and I think it's 80 right now. I think it was 75 when I first started playing Doug about a year ago. So it is something that they're constantly tinkering with to find the sweet spot. My bastard cat's asking to get out. Right, 2 seconds, guys. Honest to God, Jasper. I mean, if it was as simple as, you know, more people, more interactions, you would just up the number to 120, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, you know, there is a sort of mechanical limit on a server where people are encouraged to build. They're not encouraged to build, but it's the expected behaviour of the player base. Encouraged to build is the wrong way of putting it, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Check that out. Every bastard time. I'm gonna have to cut up some rags. I don't think I've got any bandages on me, annoyingly. That's okay though. I don't really. Let's do this. You are. I understand what you're saying though. I understand your point. Actually, no. If we do this, is this one still disinfected? Yes. Let's do this first. Then let's grab this pile and do this. Server's very laggy today. Okay. It is a constant discussion point in the community. The server numbers. It's a constant, not argument, but it is a constant point of discussion, for sure. Of course, what we don't have access to that the admins do have access to is, you know, the server performance stats, you know what I mean? So they are in a better position to tweak. I'll tell you one thing, the server is... Have I had any drop frames yet? None. How was the whitelist process done? This is a big question. This is a really big, important question. How was the whitelist process for you? Do you feel like being in a group helps your application ability to get interactions? So that's actually two separate questions. To answer the second part of your question first, being in a group, I find it easier to find interactions with other players on Doug as being part of a group. Because you have then like a group identity. You also, when you're interacting with other groups, you then have leverage in how you interact with them, in the respect that you have numbers, you have manpower, right? Like if you're one single player, then you are more limited in what you can offer another group. Now that doesn't mean that there aren't solo players out there who do incredible things on Doug. There are. Big E is a great example. There are definitely others. You do not have to be part of a group to be a prominent and active and key member of Doug. That is not what I'm saying. However, I do think it's probably easier if you are, in my experience and opinion. So to answer your question as whether being part of a group, I would, my experience would say yes, but I'm also aware that I'm perhaps a little biased. I prefer being in a group anyway. To answer the first part of your question, the whitelist process is... I think it's rare that people get in on the first time. It took me 3 attempts, and my understanding from speaking to other people is that's fairly typical. And each time you apply, you know, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to go through and actually process it. But being part of a group then and having whitelisted members in that group to help you with your application is generally a help, right? If you have people who've already went through the process and know that can help you wording your answers and stuff like that, it makes it easier. So I would say don't rush your whitelist application. Don't rush to get it in. I understand why you want to, because having access to the Reddit, having access to the priority queue is really, really nice. So I understand why you would want to rush your application, but make sure you've spent some time on the server before you apply, I would say. And then speak to people. I mean, but I mean, even if you ask on the Doug Discord, you know, if you say, look, would anybody be willing to jump into voice comms with me, and, you know, out of game voice comms, Discord voice comms, and just maybe help me with the wording of some of my answers. The community is really good. People will help you with that.
Good morning, young Dave.
Wayne of the clan Wayne. I am streaming, so keep your disgusting opinions about
No, I've had pop-up. Fred in the fucking
about
whatever.
women and that to yourself, okay?
How we going?
Really bad, mate.
Aye. Nice to see a good turnout for your event, pal.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely some
absolutely.
things.
Yeah, a good 30, I'd say. Easy.
I would say, yeah. I was thinking somewhere between 30 and some people turned up later on, like the over. I think you were gone by the time the Overlook arrived, and that. I think we probably tickled near 40 total over the course of the night, which I'm over the moon with. I'm over the moon with for a
I was
first
going to
go.
say, I'd say when I were there, I'd say there were 30 people.
I would agree. I would agree. I think that number's pretty accurate, and then some more people drip fed in over the course of the night.
Nice.
So I'm there's definitely some things I would do differently for or improve upon for next time. But for a first go, I'm really pleased at how it went. Really pleased.
What are you thinking?
I think because I just didn't, me and DayZ just didn't have the bandwidth to do much more. But the teddy bear hunt went a bit quickly, and we didn't have enough organised for people to do outside of it. Which the clowns helped with on the night and stuff, which was good. But it would be what I'm actually thinking about. Do you remember when Coalition did that community market event over at House of Hope?
I do remember it. Yeah.
Was it last wipe? I think it was last wipe.
I don't know what it won't be.
Was it the one before? It might have been the one before it. We're actually thinking about maybe doing, because the other issue I had was, because none of my boys are whitelisted yet, like 3 of them have got their apps in, but I was the only whitelisted member. The event was due to start at 9, which I thought would be fine because it allows people to get on at the restart. But then I never thought about the fact that none of my guys could get on, and so I had to run the event myself effectively. What I was thinking is maybe if we did like a community market, it still started at 9 o'clock for the restart, but then, you know, with that last one, the admins helped them put like stalls out and stuff like that. If you remember, I don't know if you. Right, I know you weren't there, but I think you maybe seen the streams or whatever. There was I've seen a little bit. There was stalls put out for people to come in that. We could do that in that little bowl area, you know, between the 2 towers. We could get some. We could do it there, and then we still have the teddy bear hunt, obviously, but like we do that at like say 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like have the, or you know, 10:30 or whatever. You know what I mean? Give a reason for groups to come, and then round the event off with the teddy bear hunt or something. You know, that's what we're thinking. There's some other ideas as well. We could also potentially
something else to keep people occupied. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We could also potentially do the teddy bear hunts in waves, because some people that ran out first got 2 or 3 teddies, and some people got less than that. So maybe we say, right, the 15 people, you guys go to Bog, and then the next 15 people you go to Zabalotai. You know what I mean? There's definitely things we can do to improve it, and me and DayZ are already talking about it. So, but I really need some of my boys to get whitelisted before we do anything, to be honest, because like I couldn't really leave Krona because like DayZ and those guys all went out to watch everybody taking part and, you know, fuck with them and that, which was always what we had planned. But it meant I couldn't leave Krona, because if anybody then turned up late and they wanted to borrow a shovel, or, you know, and the gate was open, so, you know, people could then, you know, so somebody had to stay at Krona, and I was the only member of the web logged in because of everybody else being in the queue. So
yeah, I know. I had a shovel at first, but I ended up getting it Beardy.
You gave it to Beardy. Oh, that's weird, because Beardy never. That's weird. I didn't even know Beardy was at the event. He told me he was coming, and then he never came to Krona. That's interesting.
He did come to Krona, but his internet were playing up, so he ended up fucking crashing 3 or 4 times, and then he just choked fuck on it.
Okay.
So I just ended up running about on my own. I didn't.
Yeah.
And whoever were near me when I found one, I just fucking shouted them over. I got that Dr. Epoxy. What's she called?
Emerson. I actually saw her last. Emerson. Yeah, I saw her last night. Actually, in character.
Yeah, I shouted her over. I found her too. One were in Epoxy.
I think
she ended up with 2. I think.
Yeah, she got 2 Epoxy. I think she did really well with prizes. But we kind of wanted the prizes to be a bit more spread out. But that's, you know, like, so much could have went wrong on the night that didn't go wrong. Nobody shot up the event. Nobody ESP'd and took all the teddies before the event started. There was a lot that could have went wrong that didn't go wrong. So, like, way more went wrong than than sorry, way more went right than went wrong. If you know what I mean, like we're really pleased at the turnout. We're really pleased that people seem to have a good time. But there's definitely things we would improve upon for next time, for sure.
Yeah.
I got some really good RP out of it as well. Like towards the end of the event with which I followed up on last night actually with the Overlook and Shifty and Odyssey and the Refuge as well. So there's a few irons in the fire for a few different things.
Yeah, were there when you took Refuge guy aside?
Aye. Well, I spoke to Shifty and Emerson was there actually at Brixton. I went and spoke to Shifty last night about all that. So
anything you can share or not on stream?
I'd rather not share. I'm happy to share it with you, but I'd rather not do it on stream.
Yeah, no, did. Obviously, I know what happened. Yes.
So yeah, yeah. I'm really like the point of the event was to get our name out there, but also to maybe try and RP with some groups we haven't RP'd with before. So that definitely happened. So. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it went overall, but I also think we can do some things better next time, which is good. That's kind of the point.
Mate. I'm glad it went well. That fucking VS, Dave, just fucking use it if you want. Like, I don't fucking wake up.
Mate, I can tell you right now, I shouldn't be saying this on stream. That's going to wind you up, but I think we've got like 4 in base.
Oh, nice.
We're fucking swimming in them. We're not swimming
Well, if there's
in. We're
one
not.
there next
Yeah, there will be one there.
time I wake up, I'll grab it.
Because the one thing we're not swimming in is we're not actually. Ironically,
just a guy I've met in game, mate.
Nice.
We ended up, chatting and this, that, all that.
Yeah, my connection's been funny today. My OBS has just dropped on me there, which is the first time it's done that in forever.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. I've never done bunker.
I've never done the bunker in Livonia. I had the chance to as well. I had the chance to before Little Something left Lug. I had the chance to go and do a bunker run.
Are they still playing it? How come they've kicked you out, haven't they, or did you leave?
No, they didn't kick. I think the. Yeah, I'm going to EFK for a few seconds because I need to try and figure out what this issue is with my OBS and my connection. I'm not logging off or anything like that. I'm just going to go check my router and shit. I'll be back in a second.
Roger.
What the fuck happened there, man? I just got my arse felt by Zeds.
You knocked out?
Nah. My fucking shirt almost got ruined though. I would have been very annoyed if that had happened. It was badly damaged.
It's nice to, good to see Odyssey back as well.
Really good to see Odyssey back.
I like Shifty as a character.
I had a big chat, I had a long conversation with him last night. A good half hour or so. Peruvian was there too. Peruvian's joined Odyssey from Overlook, eh?
Was he over? Yeah, I thought he were over.
He was Overlook, yeah.
What's them guys' plan then? Same
Well,
as before, or?
Yeah, broadly speaking, without going into details on stream. But you know what, like the web didn't have a close relationship with Odyssey, right? So
No.
it was about kind of giving them some information, like being like, look, here's some information. If this is worth it to you, then perhaps you'll consider, we have the same kind of overall goals regarding certain third parties. If you trust us, we would be willing and happy to help, kind of thing,
Cool.
Which was more or less the same conversation I had with Robert and Rango when they turned up at the event as well.
No woodsman at the event, were there?
There were no woodsmen at the event, which well, you know, you don't get everybody, you know what I mean?
No.
But no,
Did any fireflies turn?
Fireflies didn't turn up either, but then the Fireflies are dealing with shit right now, given that their leader just got killed, like Pyramid.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Pete's dead. Yeah, got killed by FL. Well, so what happened is FL kidnapped Santiago and Pete, and then offered Pete the choice of either Santiago being killed or he killed himself to save Santiago.
Right, got you.
Now Pete ended up getting, like, in character, Pete ended up getting out of the situation, but very, very badly injured. Was able to kind of crawl his way back towards his guys. They kind of rescued him, but his injuries were too bad, and Pete's been permad, yeah. So there's now serious fallout as a result of that.
Well, they've been on a tear, FL, because I think they permad Boone as well, didn't they?
Yes. About time they did something with fucking Blackthorn, but yes, they did. Actually, there's that guy's video I need to watch. I had it queued up to watch this morning, but now I'm jumping on Scunny. That's exactly the video.
Yeah.
I don't even know exactly what happened with Boone and what happened with FL.
Not a clue.
I did actually meet with Blackthorn. Did I tell you I met with Blackthorn Gang? With Will.
No.
Yeah, when I was flyering, I went and visited them. That was some fucking tense RP, let me tell you that right fucking now.
Was that before or after? Well, if it was Blackthorn, then we'll.
It was after they attacked us, yeah. But I played it straight, like we didn't know.
Say anything about it?
Yeah, well, okay, so here's what happened. We played it straight, like we didn't know they'd attacked us, right? That's how we played it, because we didn't know for certain, but we were pretty confident it was them, and Will had killed them, right?
Yeah.
So we played it straight that we didn't know it was them. And one of the guys, I was very tense. They were being quite aggressive the whole time we were there. Not like rude, but like, you know, holding guns to our head, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like making the situation very tense. And at one point, one of them pulled me aside and went, "Have you guys been raided recently?" And we were like, "No." He's like, "No, there's nobody been up at Krona fucking with you guys." I was like, "Nah, everything's fine up there. We got raided a couple of weeks ago, but everything's been fine recently." And he went, "Okay." And that was the end of the conversation. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was interesting.
Well, as far as they're aware, I'm not going to say on stream, but it wasn't you that killed them anyway. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah. So at the moment, they think that somebody third-partied on them whilst they were attacking Krona, I believe. And they don't know that we know that they raided us. Or attempted to raid us. And got fucked over by a third party saving Krona type thing. That's what they think. They think they raided us, we don't know about it, and some random third party rocked up and saved the day. Whereas we know that they tried to raid us and, well, wiped them out. So
we'll get them a slap.
So that's how that situation played out. But at the end of the day, after a very tense, maybe 15-20 minute meeting with them at Blackthorn Castle, they let us go.
Cool. Is there many of them left now?
There was like 6 of them there when on just literally in the castle when I turned up. So I presume that's not all of them, because, you know, unless they're all logged on at the same time. There was like literally like 6 of them there.
More than I thought there would be. And you know who's on that job, Dave?
On the job, I had my medical last week. All went fine. They didn't find all the smack in my system, so that's great. So I'm just waiting for the vetting to come through now, which hopefully will be very quickly. Because I've had the job offer, but I've not had the job offer yet. Like you don't get the job offer until the medical's cleared and the vetting's done. So, and until I get the job offer, I can't put my notice in with my old company, so.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm hoping that comes through this week, and the moment I get that, the letter will be getting sent to my current employer saying, ta-ta.
Sayonara.
I'm very, very hopeful that happens sooner rather than later, because I have a funny feeling, despite the fact I was on the rig for Christmas last year, I have a funny feeling that if I don't get my notice in before the middle of